Afade, tiro wami lesor amamay ngali kami amaga umogaan and good morning Marianas. I want to begin by honoring our ancestors, our forefathers, the covenant negotiators, and also our manamku, who we revere to the fabric of our soul. The Northern Marianas has evolved since time immemorial. Our ancestors have owned our islands that we are privileged to inherit from. We had navigators, the proa master navigators, without the help of any modern technology since time immemorial. Our ancient indigenous Chamorro population, and then further complemented by our Carolinian brethren who sailed to distant lands after the decimation of supernatural typhoon in their islands and sailed over and ended up. And since then, the rest is history. I am here because I celebrate who we are now as a people, diversity. The culture must remain intact, but changes are bound to happen. And that's through God's law. You know, we look back and we thank God for our Lemay roots, our Taro roots. And we are here today and we celebrate everybody because this is who we are in a melting pot. Huko Luta, Tinian, Saipan, and the Northern Islands, Falyukafan, our cultural homeland. No matter who you are, what ethnicity you are, as long as you live here and we work here and we live together, we are one Marianas, one Corazon, right? And it is through the heart work of our Manamku, our ancestors, the retirees, our veterans, and our soldiers, our parents, our families before us, that I am so honored and privileged to carry this torch. And so today, upon the first minute of the first day opening for submission of nominating petitions and candidacy to be your next NMI delegate to the U.S. Congress, I am humbly thrilled to be the first candidate to file as an independent who is beholden to no special interest other than our people's interest.
Amen.
People over politics. Solutions, actions, expect results. No more making noises. No more investigations. There's a point where that has to stop, because our people are suffering. They're still in tents. They don't have water. They don't have power. And by golly geez, let us put aside politics and start identifying solutions, and let's unleash actions, because who can you trust as your most respected representative to the U.S. Congress? Who possesses the most sensible character with integrity, fortitude, moral compass, strict ethics, work ethics, and principles to represent you in the U.S. Congress? Who exhibits the best leadership acumen with professional maturity spanning 30 years of work experience and performance record in the legislature, in executive branch, in the federal government, when I interned for the U.S. Congress, and I visited the White House a few times over this period, and the non-profit sector, those that the government is unable to assist, I've been helping our people with my fellow board members, whether it's NMTI Trades Institute, the CHC Volunteers Association, the Northern Marianas Descent Corporation, the PTSA of Cagman, and the entire PAC, Parent Advisory Council, comprising of all presidents of PTAs in Luta, Tinian, Saipan, and private and public schools, and other FESPAC Committee in Culture and stuff. all of those who has exhibited the best performance record.
Don't forget the program of CDBGR.
And the CDBGS, the CDBGDR, the largest ever federal grant in the Commonwealth history that Housing NMHC hired me to write along with the team. And who is best strategically poised and ready to seek effective solutions that directly meets the CNMI's dire economic, social, and infrastructural needs, and who will deploy required actions by competently securing valued diplomatic partnerships and support across all aisles, left or right, Republicans and Democrats and independents, in the U.S. Congress, the White House, and major U.S. federal departments, all of which I have had the privilege and the honor of working with throughout my 30 years in government, and who possesses the intimate knowledge of the most vital agreement between the CNMI and the U.S., our covenant, and our unrelenting geopolitical strategic asset, and who will hit the ground running, not walking, but running, by leveraging both in order to steadfastly secure key policy and programmatic agreements throughout federal departments and the White House and Congress, on top of quantifying the undeniably high exposure to our human lives and the overall human costs, being constantly at risk in the crossfire of military dominance and hyper-militarization between the U.S. and its enemies and allies, to robustly compensate us now and over the next 50 years. We must be visionary. We must negotiate now and negotiate with the United States in lieu of using our waters and ocean and land for its military defense posture in the Indo-Pacific region. We must negotiate. We must leverage now and up to 50 years so we can put money into the reserves so our future generation are taken care of, thus rescuing us from further undue irreparable economic collapse and social Armageddon. Who can best eloquently articulate and justify our struggles, our sufferings, pinadisita, our extenuating circumstances, so geographically remote from the mainland US and Washington, D.C., who experienced poverty and struggled during his childhood with socio-economic hardships as a son of an indigenous Zamoro mother and an immigrant Filipino construction laborer. I want to be honored and I want to feature my father, almost 80 years young, and he continues to bless me with his values of honesty and integrity and grit and resilience and independence. And alongside him is my late wife's father, also, who immigrated to Saipan from Japan as a professional laborer. And so I'm honored, along with my chairman, and the ATSA, our treasurer Dave Berger, CPA, and Vice Chair Vince Pangilinan, and Secretary Gloria Rushing, and Virg Regis, and of course, most importantly, our hundreds and thousands of supporters behind this movement of the people over politics, because nothing else matters after the election. We must roll up our sleeves and do the people's work, because the people are tired of suffering. And speaking of which, I know what it is to suffer. I know how it is to be a victim of political vendetta, despite your real-life work experience spanning 30 years, working with the U.S. federal government, with the nonprofit sector, with the professional university education, and real-world compassion and care for our natmasi, our manmobli, for the common people who suffer the most pain and neglect, like Luta and Tinian and Saipan, all those that have no jobs, businesses closing, and the middle working class who continue to work, the retirees, the senior citizens, Manomko, and our veterans who deserve nothing better but to unleash the power of the United States federal government in true testament to the pledges and the promises it gave us when we negotiated and signed that covenant some almost 50 years ago. It's an honor for me to file today, and I look back with all my supporters and our children, if I'm baguunta, yash orihet. And that's who I am working for. And give me that chance No more kids at home because all of my sons are away, like our other kids, charting their own story and writing and paddling their own canoe. It will be an honor, and I humbly ask for this chance to be your delegate to the U.S. Congress on November 5th, 2024. Si Zeus Masi, Kiliso Remy, Tomakal Olumay Remy, maraming salamat po, dumarigato, og manmesulang. God bless you. God bless the Northern Marianas.